I'm 30 and I'm in a band and I serve lobster. Been here before, the walls look familiar. I am Gina Fritz, and I guess a little bit about my band is I have been doing the solo thing now for 2 years. By solo, I mean I have a live band that's with me, but we're called Gina Fritz. I've been in the industry now for about 10 years, and I have been in a lot of different projects leading up to this. I was in a pop punk band back in 2017. Then I joined an R&B band. Wow. And after that is when I met up with Whitney and we became Keyed Up, which I still do that with Whitney. And then I do Gina Fritz. Yeah, I started it as just Gina Fritz, and I didn't actually think that like I would have like steady band members. I kind of thought that it would be like a rotation. And then I met guys that I really, really vibed with. So it ended up working out. 5, including me. So we have my brother, who's the rhythm guitarist. And then we have Frankie Forbes. He's the drummer. Evan Reiki. He's my bass player. And then Frank Soltis. He is my lead guitarist. I'm on stage. Like I introduce him on stage like every time that we perform. And like, it's like I have to like be like, okay, wait, hang on. I like process the names really quick because I'm like, there's so many. Especially too, like, because we've done the van thing and like we have a photographer too, and we have, you know, other people that come with us for merch. So we're all trying to like jam pack into like a 12-passenger van that we rent. And then we take the seats out of the back of the van and we put all the equipment. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. And to remember, okay, what instrument went where, because we need to get this right on the way back. I think we took a slow-mo video one time of us taking it out so we could try to figure out, okay, like in case we don't remember this, here's the slow-mo video. We'll just resort back to that. The other night we were playing a show up in Massachusetts and we didn't have enough room in the car because we like didn't rent a van for it because vans are expensive. So we took all of our cars and me, Anthony, and Frankie all went in his. It was like not even like a minivan. It was like an SUV. And there was no room for his Tom. So I drew short straw and I was in the back with the Tom on top of my lap. And he was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine." And that was the one night that we ended up getting pulled over. And the cop is just like with the flashlight looking in. He's like, "Are you okay back there?" I'm like, "I'm fine. We just played a show. I'm okay." Can't seem to sleep without the fear of dreaming. Back in, oh my gosh, I think it was 2006. Back in 2006, I went to a Paramore show, like when they had like all their original members. And I went and I watched Hayley Williams on stage, and like that was the pivotal moment for me. I mean, back like when I was like younger, like I would watch like, you know, like shows and stuff where like people would dance and they would sing. So like I always grew up on music. Like my mom and my dad, like they put me onto music at a really, really young age. Like I was always singing in the house. But I think that was like the pivotal moment, was like seeing Hayley on stage and being like, oh, it's not just guys that do this. Like I can do this too. So that was like my moment for me. And then after that, it was like I was listening to bands like Flyleaf, Evanescence, Escape the Fate, Seosin, like they were all on rotation on my MP3 player. That's, oh my gosh, I aged myself. That was what I was listening to, like in the back of the bus, like Flyleaf, Evanescence. I think Bring Me the Horizon at that point was in there, but yeah, that was the moment though, was that Paramore concert. I was like, oh, I could do this too. I got this. So awesome because like I said, I've been doing this for so long, so like obviously it took a lot of time to like build a fan base. Like I feel like I still don't have like a large fan base, like, but I do have like a lot of really awesome supporters who like I see the same people sometimes at every single show, which is so cool. I have the people who are like, I already have that t-shirt, like when are you going to come out with a new one so I could buy another one? And like that's so cool to like have those same people be at all of the shows. Like I had people last night at my headliner in Connecticut, like they traveled all the way from New York because they were like, oh, we didn't know like when you were gonna come back. So like they traveled, and I'm like, that's so crazy. Like, and going back to it's hard for girls in this, it absolutely is. Like I feel like I have to work that much harder to prove myself because there are so many guys in this. The lineup that I made last night was all guys, and then it was me. And it's awesome, but at the same time, it gets very frustrating because it's like, am I not getting certain opportunities because I'm a girl? Like, and I've heard other bands say like, oh, like we don't want like girls on the tour because of like, our girlfriends and stuff. And I'm like, that's like where it becomes like pretty sticky. And it's like, I'm just here to do my job. Like, I just want to do this as my career. So I want to be given that equal opportunity. And even like, just like the fact of like, I know I'm not a guy, but like, let me on this tour to like prove myself. You know what I mean? Like, the crew that I have, the people that I surround myself with, my band members, we're all there to work. Like, we're not there like, yeah, we do our little partying afterwards, but we're there to work. We're there to make sure that the show goes well for everyone. So I do have to say, like, so much respect to Escape the Fate, because for them to have put us on that little run with them, like, and have the trust and the faith in us to do that as a local band still was such an insane opportunity. Like, I still can't wrap my head around that that's how my year started. And then we ended it with them too, because they asked us to do their Brooklyn show with them. And it's like, so much respect for Escape the Fate. I'm glad that when I was younger, I was listening to them too. He's like so insanely talented, like nothing but good things to say about their whole crew. Like, everyone just made us feel like family on that run. We were like, why does it have to only be 3 days? We need to do a longer one. So, okay, you can expect a lot of crowd interaction. I love to get the crowd involved, and I go out in the crowd a lot. We do a lot of crowd stuff just because I feel like the crowd wants to be a part of the performance. I don't like just staying up on stage and like giving a performance from the stage. So yeah, I'm going to be in the crowd for sure if you pick me. And yeah, there was a little girl yesterday who came, and she asked me right in the beginning if she could sing Miracle. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. Yeah, like, come on up. I'm absolutely gonna, like, she was like, can I have my own mic? I'm like, absolutely. Like, yes, you will have your own mic. So I called her up, and I don't know what I was expecting, but I definitely wasn't expecting her to know every single word. And like, she was a natural up there. Like, I don't know if you saw the video, but like, she like had moves. She was flipping her hair. It was the cutest thing that I've ever seen. So that like melted my heart. But yeah, crowd interaction is like a must with our performances. We always give high energy performances. I feel like my guitarist, like, even when I'm out of breath and I'm like, okay, let me just like relax for a minute, they're just like always going. Like, they're always doing spins, jumps. They're sometimes in the crowd. So yeah, it's high energy from us. It's so cool to like see like other bands from Connecticut doing really well. It's like, it gives me hope. Pretty good. But I'm gonna be honest, for some reason our cover of All Around Me was the one that like popped off. Like, on TikTok, there are like over 400 shares for All Around Me, and people are like commenting, oh my gosh, I thought that this was the original girl. I'm like, listen, that is the highest form of compliment to be compared to Lacey Sturm. Lacey Sturm actually shared that cover on her story, and I remember I was driving. I'll never forget it. I was driving to go see Bring Me the Horizon because they were performing at Fenway, opening for Fall Out Boy, and I see on my phone the Instagram where it was like, Lacey Sturm mentioned you in their story, and I was like, there's no way. I had to pull over on the side of the road. I was with my brother, And I pulled over on the side of the road. I was like, Anthony, I think you need to take the wheel on this. And I just started crying. I'm like, oh my God, she shared the cover. This is so crazy. So yeah, the Bring Me to Life one was great. People loved it, but definitely for some reason, the All Around Me one hit so much harder. Like so many people love that one. And whenever we play it live, we get such a good crowd response from it. So that's the one that we're sticking with, like, for live performances. Because I feel like, I don't know, like, obviously originals are great, but I feel like if you have a crowd that's like never seen you before, throwing in that cover, just like the one cover, throw it in, and people obviously know what that song is. So that could be what attracts them to you. Yeah. And there's some people that, like, you know, they follow me on TikTok and they're like, oh, wait, I found you through this cover. Like, you do originals too? And I'm like, I've been doing originals for 2 years, but yes, thank you for finding me. Here's my originals on Spotify. TikTok really does it sometimes. Like, and for some reason it was that cover that like took over. And then what happens is like the algorithm like will pick up like certain sounds. So like I could post like a picture and just be like, hey, what are you guys doing December 14th? Like, I'm doing a show. And then I put that sound. And for some reason it gets like over like, you know, 3,000 or however many, like one got up to like 60,000. And I'm like, how? But it's because the algorithm just like picks up certain sounds. I'm like, that's crazy.